Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah amma ba'd fa bismillah assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Indeed, all praise and thanks are due to Allah, and peace and blessings be upon His Messenger. Proceeding to the video, we begin with Allah's name subhanahu wa ta'ala, so peace be upon you, welcome and greetings. We're going to be covering now something I like to call regulators. Those are little markings in the middle of an ayat. They act like an ayat at some points, like in the sense of stopping, but they look a lot differently. So we're just going to jump right into it. So if you see a little za, a little sad, a little qaf, or a little sila in your recitation, that basically means it's desirable to continue and to not pause. So right here, if there's an example of a za, illa an yasha Allahu wadhkur rabbaka idha nasita. So if you noticed, I stopped kind of, but the flow should be as we're going to start now, inshallah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Illa an yasha Allahu wadhkur rabbaka idha nasita. So now what I did is I did not pause there because that za basically is telling me it's desirable to continue and not pause. Now, if you were to pause at an area where there is no indication to stop or to pause, let's say you run out of breath or something, what do you do? So let's say I'm reciting and then I say Allah an yasha Allah. I read everything behind this ayat and then I read that part and then I stop there at that za. What should I do? I should go back a few words, recite the few words, and match it up. So instead of saying illa an yasha Allah wadhkur rabbaka, instead of moving on without making a continuation, I should go back a few words to try to continue the flow. So I would say illa an yasha Allah. Let's say I stop there. So then I go back to maybe an yasha or illa an yasha Allahu wadhkur rabbaka idha nasit. So now if we go to the sad, wal aqrabuna walin nisa'i. So I don't stop there. And a qaf, same thing, awladikum lidhakari mithl. So awladikum, and then I don't stop there. So I should keep going to lidhakari mithl. So that's basically, it's the same principle as the sad. And the sila means connect. And you can also have like a za and sila at the same time. Or any other kind of thing. You can have two of the same things, but it'll still be there. So this is bikalami fakhud. But now what you notice is I paused there, which I shouldn't have done. So what I should say is bikalami fakhud ma ataytuka wa kum minash shakirin. And there is an ayat too, so I stopped there, I dropped the fatha, and I just replaced it with a sukoon. So that's pretty much these four markings that you might see. Now we'll cover a few more, inshallah. If you see like a qaf and a fa together, it's a recommended pause. So khayrul liman ittaqa, try to stop there. Wala tudlamuna fatila. So I stopped there because that's a recommended pause. Now another one is optional. Waqf jaiz, mata'ud dunya qalil. So if I want to stop there, I can because there's a jim, and if I don't want to, I can continue. It's optional. Mata'ud dunya qalilun wal akhiratu. So I can continue or pause. Another one now is a necessary stop. Ajalin qareeb qul. So I should stop there because there's a ta right there. Another one, read one of two in continuity. Basically, if you see a little jim with like the three dots on its head, that basically means that try to stop at one and read the other in continuity. So it could sound something like this. وَقَالَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا لَوْلَا نُزِّلَ عَلَيْهِ الْقُرْآنُ جُمْلَةً وَاحِدَةً كَذَلِكَ. So I continued this one and I stopped at this one. So I should stop at one and continue the other. So then I can say جُمْلَةً وَاحِدَةً كَذَلِكَ. So I continue and then I stop. لِنُثَبِّتَ بِهِ فُؤَادَكَ وَرَتَّلْنَاهُ تَرْتِيلًا. Or I could go and say it like this. وقال الذين كفروا لولا نزل عليه القرآن جملة واحدة. By the way, we'll get into Tamarbuta stops in the next video inshallah, but I could stop here واحدة and then continue, and I would not stop there. كذلك لنثبت به فؤادك ورتلناه ترتيلا. So I could read either one. So I read one in continuity and I stop at the other, or I stop at one and read the next one in continuity. Next one is there's only a few more markings inshallah. A compulsory stop, waqf lazim. So فَلَا يَحْزُنْكَ قَوْلُهُمْ. There's a little meme there that tells me it's a compulsory stop here. Then I continue. So I should not continue the ayat. I should stop in the middle. فَلَا يَحْزُنْكَ قَوْلُهُمْ. Pause. إِنَّا نَعْلَمُ مَا يُسِرُّونَ وَمَا يُعْلِنُونَ. This is from Surah Yasin, and that's waqf lazim. So here's one. Continue. Do not pause. في قلوبهم مرض فزادهم الله مرضا. فزادهم الله مرضا is read right after that lam. So there's the little lam there. So that's the lam alif. It's telling me to not pause here. So if I do pause here, في قلوبهم مرض, then I should try to go back and continue the flow. في قلوبهم مرض فزادهم الله مرضا. And now we go to the momentary pause without taking breaks. So this is the sakta and the waqfa. So this is from Surah Yasin. Mim marqadina. So there's a waqf lazim and sakta. That means hold your breath, pause the recitation and hold your breath. Don't break your breath. So say mim marqadina. I'm not breaking my breath, and then I say هذا ما وعد الرحمن وصدق المرسلون. So I'm not going to say مِن مَرْقَدِنَا هَذَا مَا وَعَدَ الرَّحْمَنُ. I'm going to say مِن مَرْقَدِنَا هَذَا مَا وَعَدَ الرَّحْمَنُ وَصَدَقَ الْمُرْسَلُونَ. So if you notice, my breath I never lost my breath. An example of the waqfa, وَغْفِرْ لَنَا waqfa. So just pause your breath pause the recitation without breaking your breath. So you shouldn't breathe in or out. وَغْفِرْ لَنَا وَارْحَمْنَا. And it doesn't have to be that long, just long enough to notice that there's a pause. So these are pretty much all the markings that you will probably come across in the Indo-Pak Mushaf. And this is the desirability and the lack of liking to pause or something or not pause here, and the rules regarding it. So inshallah, basically this just helps in the flow of the recitation, because many of us probably don't know the language, so we don't know where the period would be, where's the comma, etc., etc. So we don't want to make it sound like a run-on sentence. Same kind of principles like in English or any other language. So these are pretty much the regulators, and we treat them as the same as a ayat at the end, meaning we'll try to make sure where there's a pause, we apply the concept and the rule of stopping. So please, if you're confused at any one of these parts during your own recitation, please go to any reciter and recitation and try to listen to that part being recited, so you can make sure, bi'idhnillah, that you won't make a mistake while reciting. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.